Alrighty then, mic check, mic check. Let me do a little audio check here. We are doing this as a live stream. We are going to cover some really cool topics here tonight. We're going to go over some of the recap review today. We got some really cool examples. Some of the headshot stuff. You guys have traded the headshot strategy. That's what we're going to be talking about, an advanced level headshot strategy. You might have seen it in the screenshot there as you come into the thumbnail. And of course, before we get started, make sure you are following us over here on our social media. Of course, here on Instagram is where the most fun happens. Of course, where all the action is, right here on Discord if you want to learn how we earn. And of course, don't forget, trading is risky. We are ALGOBOX traders. Let's get into some examples here this evening. Let's do this. All right, so we are going to have some time for some questions and answer at the very end. So hold those. I am going to open up the Discord channel chat on the mic at the end. So if you guys would like to ask some questions, maybe prepare those. I'm going to put them right up here so you guys can ask questions at the end. You can come on the mic with me if you'd like to answer them, ask them directly, and we'll have a chat on those. So let me show you guys some examples of some things that I want to talk about. The headshot is a fairly simple strategy, which is why we kind of titled this, the advanced yet simple strategy of the headshot. Let's get into kind of the thick of this. All right, so this is going to be advanced headshot questions. So let's talk about what is first a simple headshot setup. Right now, headshots can be played in both directions, and this is an entry strategy. So make sure you remember this is the entry point. Let's real quick. Let me hit back on what are the let's do pop quiz here. What are the pre-steps before I'm going to take a strategy entry? Because a lot of people get these confused. Again, we approach the market in a whole different way. If you've learn things from other places, you need to erase your mind from all that stuff, because you take on a new methodology and philosophy in learning what we do here, and know that the results matter. At the end of the day, you can argue all day about this way or that way or this method or that method. We point to our results, and our results are far beyond any other trade room that you have ever seen. We've looked around, and if you've got one that you think is better, please always come and hang out with us. Come tell us which one it is. That way I can buy you a subscription to that other room and buy one for myself as well. All right, can you guys hear me all right? Give me a mic check. Let me know if the audio is okay. I've got some music going as well. I see you guys over there in the chat. What's up, John, Ben, Remel, Kevin, CJ, Ben, Kevin, Curtis. I'm sorry I can't hit everybody here. Kieran, let's get into some of these. So before the headshot, before you take the trade, what are some of the pre-filters? We talk about the filters first. All right, step one, filter. About structure, bias. What else? You'd say the MACV, but we already kind of include that one. That's it, right? Structure, bias, entry strat. Okay, so we are at the point here, we're going to be focused right here on the entry strat, but it's important to make note that don't just be like, oh, well, every time I see one of those, I take that trade entry. No, we're going to have these first, right? Filter, structure. So what's a structure? That would be an example of, so a flag would be a structure. Recognize, are we in a structure of a flag? Another structure might be a wedge. Are we going in a straight channel upward direction? These are structures. You need to identify that to make sure that you're not in a spot where you could be in some trouble, right? Obviously identify that. Then your bias, what's that going to be? This is, of course, your MACV for us. And of course, we are doing what's coming next. You guys remember the new features? If you guys missed last night's video, you're really missing out on a lot. You want to go back and watch last night's Mentorship Monday for that. The new one is going to be the MACV Ultimate Histogram Alert. That is going to be huge. It's going to give you 4 E-minis simultaneously on a single alert signal. So that's going to be cool. So that's going to be helpful for those of you guys who have a little bit of limited space, or you're on a travel station, so you can't get that. That's going to be there. So your bias, you check that, which is going to be what? We keep it real simple, right? Are we green or are we red? Right? So longs, shorts. Right? So once you've got those established, now we just need the entry. What's the headshot? So a headshot, if you've got price coming into an area, it doesn't matter what the setup is, but if you see one of our infamous Fabella dots. That's part one. Part two is you must also have, I'm gonna just make the screen for demonstration purposes here. Must also have one of our gigantic Flowmaster crosses right on it. This makes up the headshot. If you're ever looking at one of our charts and you see this, let's see if I can draw a circle here. Oops, it's the wrong one. 1 second. Don't want the arrow. That one. Don't want that one. Oh no, which one is it? I can't remember how to draw the circle. Okay, well, I was trying to draw a circle around this. Let's try to do it by hand. There we go. Okay, so headshot. It feels like being a sniper. We have got the crosshair, we've got their head, the dot is like the head, and we get this pinpoint entry location. There is so much confluence. This is all about the confluence on one of these trades. Now remember, this is not just so headshot by itself. This is all of our ALGOBOX strategies are all about multi-time frame, multi-confluence setup entries, right? So all the confluence that comes in here, you've already by default, remember, what is the minimum? Let's see, pop quiz if everybody can get this. What is the minimum points of confluence on a single dot by itself? Pop quiz time. All you guys who are in the live chat, participate on this one. We get one of these. What is the absolute minimum on that dot right there? Let's see who gets this one. You guys are meant to think about it. Minimum is 5. 5 points of confluence just on one of these. Okay, if you said 5, pat yourself on the back. If you didn't, go back and do some homework. Make sure you guys cover those videos. What about the cross, right? This one counts as a +3. So no matter what, already on a headshot, you have a +5, +3. Now, what about your structure and your bias? You add this up. Remember, we're trying to get to a minimum 15 points of confluence before we enter in. Now, what's the max on a dot? A dot by itself could have 15 points of confluence, right? Up to 15 if it's blue or pink. The only way it will ever be is if it is blue or pink, right? Just reviewing. Okay, because again, we're going to the advanced stuff tonight. All right, if you want to watch the default headshot video, go onto our website. It is literally, I think it's number 4 or 5, but it's in the first library for sure. First library, first page. I believe it's the 4th or 5th one down, but you want to make sure you get HMD before this one as well. Okay. So this is the confluence setup entry point, and in this case, I kind of drew this color dot wrong here. This one in this direction would have to be along just from the way, but just let's see if we can I remove. It's not gonna let me reverse that. How about this? I'm gonna try to overdraw it. This would be a green dot from this drawing setup. Oh, the joys of doing live streams. I'm rusty, as you guys can tell. I haven't done these in a while. Since our little trading contest there. Good job, Kevin. Yep. A couple of you guys, a few of you guys got them wrong. But now you know, right? Everybody knows it's 5, right? Minimum 5. Good job, John, Franco. I see a bunch of you guys got it right. A few of you guys got it wrong. It's all right. Won't hold it against you. But I want you guys to succeed, right? I really want you to smash. But these are the small things that I really... This is the dividing the wheat from the chaff, right? So we get this beautiful headshot here. This is going to be a long, right? How do we know? Because it's green. We got this set up right here. Hopefully our bias direction, our structure has already been confirmed. But if it's green, it's a simple, it's a pretty simple formula right there, right? If we're green, easy, right? So from this point, we are taking the entry. Let's use orange for our entries like we usually do, okay? We're looking for an entry long. We've got 2 targets by default. T1 and T2. What are those going to be at? Well, it depends. If they are on the lowest ALGOBOX time frame, what is this one? Pop quiz, you should know this. The minimum is 10 ticks. That means T2 is at 15 if this is coming off of the lowest. Right? So what if we're coming off of our big, if we will? Mind you, it's just the 1 step up. What if we are 1 step up or above? Then what is this first target? At 15, pat yourself on the back again. What is target 2? 25. 15 and 25 ticks for the move up as price hopefully comes up and out of here, maybe does some wiggles. Target 1 and target 2 on a headshot, right? That is our default. That's the easy part. Oh no, I just lost my whole drawing. Okay, that's all right. So let's draw a yellow box. And let's just deal with the more advanced. So we do need our green dot here. Okay, so we're getting in long. Got our cross. We're getting long. So advanced parts. Where's the stop go? Always goes right here for all. Right now, mind you, if you want to be at here, pretty darn close. I really just want it right up on it, especially if it's a higher time frame. Remember, what do we think about as soon as I'm entering into a trade? First thoughts. Let's talk about what are first thoughts. Vinny's isms, right? The first things that should be on your mind. You can always re-enter, right? 2 try rule. +1 on re-entry. These are the 3 things in your mind that should give you confidence that, you know what, I can just put my stop there. So what, if price ends up wiggling, doing its thing that it does, we get this great shot and it kind of comes out, I'm not going to pull my stops back just because it's like, oh, well, I got a few ticks of profit earlier and now I saw that profit and I got to hold on to this position. No, doesn't work. We play it like a video game, right? If it comes back on me, no big deal. Comes in, oh, stop out. I am already thinking, what? 2 try rule, I can re-enter. So if it comes down, stops, and then we come back to this spot and we go, I can re-enter. No problem, I'm re-entering. No big deal, right? I would rather pay double commissions than have an empty account. Remember that. I would rather pay double commissions than have an empty account. If you guys can remember these things, these are gonna help you psychologically as you are taking our trade setups and just playing like a video game. Remember that middle 40 days is really key to that. Go back and watch the videos on some of those. Now, since I can always re-enter, so let's say that I did re-enter on this second one, what do I always have to remember? This one right here, folks, those of you guys who are in the final 40 days, we don't talk too much about those. That's what we're gonna be focusing on more on these advanced level things right now, is those folks who are in the final 40 days, okay? This is that final section where you need to be ready when you're going live now. The +1s, you can't miss these little small rules that I say they're small, but they are very significant. What does +1 mean? This is sort of in code speak. Everybody knows what that is, all right? I'm doing count equals count +1, okay? Is it always +1? No. A +1 could be a +2, it could be a +3, could be a +4, +6, +8. However, it has to be an increase of the prior entry. What do you understand what that is on the retry rule and the +1 entry? If you understand it, type a 1. If you're a little bit confused by it still, type me a 2. I'm just kind of curious, want to gauge the room. If you guys fully understand this or not, it's very important. As long as I am at least +1, and when would I go a +1? When I'm already maybe at a quarter position type of thing or lower, right? Toe in the water, quarter position, fine. Then my next entry is going to be a +1. Let's use an example. So if on the first trade, I was going to go into this position and I went in 2 contracts long because I'm like, I'm toe in the water. Maybe I'm looking at my vision board here, okay? And I'm at the first trade of the day, right? I'm gonna be, what do we know about these first 2 trades on our 2 trade sheet, on our 5 trade sheet here? First 2, this is gonna be toe in the water, quarter position, okay? So let's pretend we're on that one first. Let's go back to the main, is that gonna work? So toe in the water, quarter position. So I might only be in toe in the water here. I'm going 2, right? Then I get stopped out right here. What happens here? Do I bleed out and cry? No. This isn't Trades by Matt's room. This isn't Speculator Seth's room. This isn't Futures.io, the gigantic cry-fest 1980s forum style thing, okay? This is ALGOBOX here. We play to win. No, we go, oh, got me. Right? We go, oh, got me. All right. I'm going to get him when he comes back. All right? This is how we play our game. Now, boom, we're re-entering right here. So, oh, no, I just did not do that. I am so rusty. Where's the live stream? Let's do just the main things we need. Come up, stop out, we're re-entering. Stopped out, probably need the cross here for this. Okay, stopped out. Second try on the entry. Oh my word, why is E doing that? Oh my word, you gotta be joking me. Take screenshots of these so I can draw them next time. All right, bear with me on the live. You guys hold with me. Ay, 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 ay. Let's try this again. For real this time. Not even playing around. We're going for the full regalia here. Stop out. Orange for the entry. We've entered. Price is coming into this area. We break down. We stop out. We come back on my re-entry that I'm trying to use. I keep pressing E instead of O for my orange. Okay, E for exit. All right. So on my re-entry right here, if the prior was 2 contracts, what does my +1 tell me? I must at least be 3. Everybody get that? Now, most of the time, am I going to go +1? Probably not. I'm probably going to be doing a +2, but I want you to think. Remember, the concept is re-entry +1. This is it, folks. If you're taking your notes, right? Hopefully you got your notes. We talked about pins last night. I didn't get a whole lot of feedback. Anybody got a great pin you use? Again, I really like this gel style pin here, but get your notes out. All right. Re-entry. Is it just a re-entry? No. What else is it? +1. This is key. You must get bigger as you progress through your 5 trades, and you can still count the same trade. It does not mean you have to go and say, okay, is that my second trade? No. So people ask me this a lot. So Vinny, if I'm on trade 2 and I re-enter +1, am I now on trade 3? No, the answer is you can still count that as trade 1. Now, depending on where you are in your count, these are, remember, we are creating standard operating procedures for yourself. What do you need a SOP for, right? You've been in business for a long time. SOPs, standard operating procedures. You need this for your trading business. This is our standard operating procedure. Now, can you break out of standard? Yes, there are always exceptions to rules, right? But in general, yes, I want to count this as the same one. So now on the next one, I'm going to be maybe 3 or 4 contracts. For me, myself, I'm just gonna use my personal example. I'm probably going 4 contracts as I go in again on a trade like this, because if it comes back to that area, we are likely gonna do one of these song and dances, and we're going for the good, right? So I wanna make up for, I wanna make up for the prior little small loss. Hopefully it should be a small loss, right? Remember, our loss is from here to here, very small. Okay, we're keeping our losses small and our wins big, right? So at this point, we are wanting this to ride up, and we go into target 1, maybe target 2 on as well. That depends on our bias, right? Is our bias to the long side with us? If so, then I'm looking for target 2. If it is not, let's say that the bias rules are red right now. What does that mean? What does that mean, Vinny? Glad you asked. If the MACV histogram right now is red, and I'm taking a green entry, what's my rule on that? Simple, it's a T1 rule, right? T1 means I can still trade against this if I get a perfect setup like this and I want to go ahead and take that headshot. I can take it even though the MACV filter tells me no, but what do I have to do then? I have to respect the bias and know that I am only basically taking that target 1. I would hesitate to call it a scalp. It's 10 ticks, right? Scalps to me are 5 or less ticks. My personal opinion. Everybody's got their opinions on it. Some people are time-based. Oh, well, if it lasts longer than 20 seconds, then it, please. Have you guys seen the NASDAQ? 20 seconds is an eternity, right? 20 seconds, I can hit, a 30 tick hit, which is why these, trading scams, like all the trader fundings that have the 10 or the 20 second rule, right? They are filtering so that you continue to fail, right? So if you trade NASDAQ and it's moving fast and you hit some big winners, guess what? They just don't count them. Oh, nope, that doesn't count. I'm sorry, sir. That trade took less than 20 seconds. You picked that trade way too good. I mean, you must have been using ALGOBOX, and ALGOBOX is a cheat. So therefore, we're not going to count that for you. So we're not going to pay you. Yeah, you guys don't know about all the rules inside of trader fundings. I'm telling you, I'm doing a whole expose on that. You guys are not going to want to miss tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wrecking Ball Wednesday, and I am bringing Futures.io, the entire 1980s forum led by Big Mike, Peter Davies, the Jigsaw shill, scam turd piece of software that Jigsaw is. Yet they go out there and give 30% referrals. You guys wonder why you see everybody using Jigsaw? Let me explain something to you guys. You're like, wow, Jigsaw must be good. I mean, I see all these guys out there using, because there's a 30% incentive for them to do it. You know what 30% is to them? $1,000 per person for their referrals, folks. Yes, because their product at the lifetime level plus their yearly is $3,000. Okay, so a third of that goes to the guy who sold it, aka showed you some garbage trash, even though it stopped working. Their system stopped working in 2009 October, and I showed you guys that in a whole video, how the market data shifted and changed, so therefore their software no longer functions for you to help you with directional entry, right? But they're still selling that garbage, so I'm calling them to the floor starting tomorrow. I told them, you know, October 1st, if they wanted to allow me to speak on the forum again, just even have an account where I could at least respond to people who are, you know, putting out complete lies about us and promoting Jigsaw and Axia. Oh, don't even get me started on Axia. Axia, they're coming too, so don't worry. We're gonna expose that. All right. But yes, if we are back to our trade here, is as long as we are hitting T1, I'm fine with that. I can take it. And no 20-second rules around here, okay? Because we use real accounts, not that trader funding trash, right? Okay, so any questions around this? To remove emotions, hit 10 ticks, 4 ticks. Yeah, John said he hit 10 ticks in 4 seconds on ES. Yeah, and that was on ES today, because again, so they stop you from being able to trade good days like today. In the last week, really, the high volatility that was kicking in, where we've made the most amount of ticks, guess what? If you're in a trader funding program, no, we're not gonna let you count those. Nope, sorry. We're looking for, and then they blame it on, we're looking for consistent traders. You know, get out of here. Get out of here with this trader funding scam garbage. Oh my word. And if you're shilling for them, I'm sorry, Matt, Trades by Matt, Day Trader Paradise Matt, I don't give a crap what your name is, who you are. If you're still pushing that trader funding nonsense, you know, look, we all have a problem with you. This whole trading community, we're sick of it. We're sick of the scams. We're sick of the lies. We're sick of the referral BS and watching you blowout boys. Listen, somebody make a t-shirt. Somebody come up. I know you guys are super creative with your graphics, a meme, blowout boys, the blowout boys, Matt and Matt, right? Go send them t-shirts with on the back it says blowout boys 2021 and 2022 and 2023 and 2020, and you know, again, their entire trading careers have been blowouts, right? And yet they're out there telling you go buy trader funding, right? Go trade somebody else's money. Yeah, sounds like a dream. But let me tell you, it's a nightmare. All right, all the joys of live stream. See, I told you guys you don't want me to actually live stream because I'm just gonna go off on my rants, right? You guys know how I go. So if you guys take a vote, tell me if you guys like me doing the live streams, you guys can interact and do these like this, or if you prefer me just create the video, dump it out there, and roll. That's cool too. We'll open up at the end. All right, so MACV filtering. Now, let's talk about the advanced one that came in today, shall we? Live example, but you guys know how the standard operating procedure works for a default headshot. You need to know that. If you don't know this, then the next part's gonna even be more confusing, okay? But this should be very simple from a standard headshot. Headshot comes in, with the cross, boom, you're getting long. Simple as that, right? That is the headshot long. Same thing on the other side though, so people are asking, well, you know, can we go? Of course you can, right? Red headshot, right there, boom, boom, we're going short. T1, T2, same thing, stop goes over the top. Everybody makes sense, okay? Standard. Now let's go to the advanced one that we saw today. And almost every one of the ALGOBOX strategies has this, where you have two back-to-backs, okay? So the questions start to come in on a back-to-back. Let's look at an example first. Okay, so the example from the video thumbnail that you guys saw and we put into the room there earlier today. Live equals rant, LOL. Sometimes, not all the time. I mean, I don't think I had a rant. Did I have a rant last night? I don't think I did. I don't think I had a rant last night. On occasion, I didn't, but you know, it just depends on the day. All right, so what is this right here? We got several things going on here. So there are a couple of things, right? Let's see, pop it to the room. What all do you guys see right here in this circle? What's going on? Let's see if you guys can name everything, and I'm gonna try to name them as we go. The biggest thing that stands out to me first, the brightest here, is the double cross, okay? So we have a strategy called the DCDM, okay? This is also known as the double cross, double move, right? So we know we have a double cross, double move. So what do we need for that? We need a measurement. Where's the measurement? From the tip to the center, from the center projected a double move, right? You can almost see how that worked out perfectly from there to there, right? We continued on into the green PRZ down below. Yes, John knew it. That's his favorite. My boy Man of Gold, Man of Gold himself. Hey, happy anniversary, by the way. Saw you and the wifey celebrating. What was it, 12 years for you guys? Awesome stuff, sir. Yes, headshot. So somebody sees we got a green headshot in here, so that's where it gets real confusing. So you come in here, you get a green headshot, but you can almost tell right away. You see this? What does that say? Short's favorable. Okay, so we know that our bias right now is short. Okay, so we may end up holding off on that green headshot, but let's say that you did take it. Okay, well, you can beat this minor little stop out, no biggie, right? But the second cross comes in all of a sudden, because think about the way that this plays out. This went headshot 1, then it turned into double cross, okay? Then it turned into red headshot on top of it all, which what does that do? Overrides this one. Why? This is the advanced part. Recency is key, though, should give you the guide. If you remember this should be your guide. Whenever you, remember when you guys have questions around these things, I have probably given you the key to these, right? 12 years, congrats, sir. Recency is key. So which one is more recent? Real simple, right? The red dot. So which one? You're like, well, Vinny, I don't know. I saw a green dot, then I saw the red dot. You literally answered it for yourself because you said, then you saw. Very simple. Whatever you say as the then you saw, go with the second one. Everybody got that? Recency is key. The most recent matters. The one before doesn't. In fact, you can apply that to anything. Some people have asked before, well, Vinny, I've seen where I got it's a very rare thing, but I have seen it. You get a trap into an area, get a J hook like this in one direction, kind of does some things, ends up going like this, and then ends up looking like a J hook in the other direction. Which one do you take? So this is 1, 2, 1. Recency is key. Second one. Okay, very simple. So we're playing this off the J and we're looking for the down move right there. Boom. Okay. So recency is key, plays into a lot of things. In this one, with our setup, how does it play out? Ends up being the double cross double move, because that's the next step. And then what do we get with the confirmation bias? Easy, right? This red dot comes in here and we're going all in, right? This is an all in play. Did anybody else get this play earlier today? Right? This was again, my specialty end of day type of setups here. This is beautiful. It comes at the turn point of the day. How do we know that? Because we're coming into 3:30, right? So we're looking for the 3:30 turn. We're what, 3:37? We're 7 minutes in. We get the big play, right? We had the pivot back here at the 30s. We're moving up, but then look at our setup. So beautiful. Only thing that could have made that better is maybe if this had landed on the king right there. But look at this. What's that? That's king timing with a crossover, right? You got a red in there plus the pink, so you got timing. Dude, this is a beautiful play set up. Again, it is a little bit tricky though. That's why I want to talk about it here tonight, because I'm like, well, it could have stumped a few people with this. Curtis comes down with the first meme for the blowout boys. I can't wait to show that one. So you get the double cross. We already showed this once, so we already know what our target is. Boom. Right to here, right? That's our main target right there. We want to take all the juice off right there. If we're getting any runners down into this section, hey, even better. We also had ALGOBOX that totally kicked. And what's that right there? Another sign we come to what could possibly be a very big end of move right there, because we got a standout by itself sitting right there to tell you that if we pivot in this area, that we could be coming all the way back down. You guys see how this combines? And again, it's very, very simple when you're watching our system unfold. Mind you, it takes a little bit of practice. But let's say that you didn't know any of that and you just come into this section right here. You clearly see this set up. You got the double cross, double move in your head. Then you get the red dot right back behind it. If you're not pressing the short button right there, if you're not smashing this button when you see a setup like this, You need to ask yourself some questions about life, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Or you might be playing the wrong game. But this is a very simple setup and a strategy. You comes into, you've got the headshot. This is an advanced level headshot because you did have them back to back, which is why I wanted to focus on it, because you want to know and understand. But you've got, first of all, you should already always know what your bias is, right? You should have already confirmed that you know what that is telling you. Then at the same time, you can look at your histogram, which I think I have another screenshot of full screen. Your histogram bias during that time period, what's the majority color here? Gigantic red, right? You had a little green section there, but that doesn't matter. I always tell you guys all the time, what is the majority of this section telling you? Plus the other instruments, all solid red at this time, right? So are you really nervous about a green headshot really pushing up? No. And then when this pops in with the red, oof. Slam bam, thank you, ma'am. Yes, please. Please hand me that money bag. Thank you very much. I mean, they basically just said, here, let me wave this gigantic money bag right in front of your face. And yes, please, let me take that. Yeah, so tasty. All right. Now, even if you messed up and you took T1, T2, okay, you know, congratulations. But I do want to point this out. How do I know that I can get more than T1 and T2? Because it's also a double cross, double move. Because people were asking that too. Like, well, how do you know to hold down farther? You know, should I still take target 1, target 2? No. What I always tell you guys, when you got a DCDM, that overrides everything. Now, you can take your T1 as the first thing that you grab, and you grab your T1 tag and you drag it out, don't you? What do you drag it out to? The next nearest structural target. What I just said. The next... Ow, I can't type. Got a room there. Structural target, okay? Next nearest structural target, just didn't have enough room there. So what would that be? Well, the structure here is a PRZ target from a diamond plus a Gartley setup that's laying out right here that lays these two beautiful little suckers right there that were in yellow ahead of time. I don't think I got a shot of that, a screenshot of that, but this was yellow first, telling you it was going to be there before it was drawn. Right, that's how our PPRZs, again, if you don't know about our system, again, go look up PPRZs for us. Again, these are proprietary to us. We didn't invent the harmonic. We didn't invent the chicken. We invented the chicken sandwich. We didn't invent the harmonic, but we did create harmonic PPRZ. Okay, so you're dragging T1 out into that structure. Everybody understand how that works? So by default, your ATM is going to fire target 1. Well, target 1 might be there. Whoops. Okay, target 1, that's probably 10 ticks. Target 2 is going to be 15, probably right there. Right? But when you see that double cross, double move, you get your measurement, probably going to put it right there. So what do you immediately do? Number one thing, target 1's got to move. You toss target 1 out. I don't care if you leave target 2 there. I always tell everybody, I'm not going to ever fuss at you for not moving target 2. Target 2, that is good money right there. No reason to leave that, you know, food on the table. If you want to grab T2, that's totally fine. There are some additional pieces of information that you can get. At this time, we had ALGOBOX, so it was easy for me. ALGOBOX is going blah, 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 blah. So super activity coming in on the short side, pushing. So I didn't really have any problem literally dragging all of my targets all the way out. Finally, fully closing out as we go into this green box down there. Didn't even do the measurement. I kind of eyeballed it and just held and then pressed close as I touched into that PRC down below. Huge one. That was my biggest trade of the day. But I did want to say, I know, like right here, this was one of the trickiest spots right there because, yes, you had the green headshot, then it turned into red headshot, but it really should not have been that confusing if you know the rules, or especially now after today, because, yes, this is an advanced level headshot strategy, but it's very simple with our system. If you see that, I mean, you can't miss that. Visually, how can you miss that? You can't, right? This is why our system is so powerful. And what do you know? It's our timing. We know that it starts at least with a medium, but what was right before it? You had the crossover timing. You look to the left, you see the king. You have all kinds of things that are literally telling you the full story right here in an instant. You can instantaneously tell what we should be doing here and then executing using our rules. Recency is key. Double cross, double move for the targets. Headshot, bam. Enter, wham, bam, and thank you, bam. All right. That is the advanced level headshot stuff that I want to talk about. We're right there at 30 minutes. So I'm going to open up the floor. 5 more minutes here. If you guys got questions, let me see. Scrolling back through here. If you guys got questions, or I'm going to go open mic. I'm going to come over here to our room. Click. Mic check, mic check. All right, so if anybody wants to jump on the microphone and come have a chat, I am there if you want to do it there, or if you want to type it in the chat here, I will also read those. Let's see, looking through, latest one said the redhead shot. Always have something working against you. Yes, it's a great point, John. Everybody's like, well, I wanted to wait till everything was going my direction. Folks, you don't do that. You'll never hear me say that. People always think this though, and they say that with other, you know, any system. They're like, I'm just gonna wait till everything lines up, right? Look, nothing is ever gonna all line up. And if you wait till that point, I mean, you're all, oops, I'm drawing on the wrong screen over here. I'm drawing over there. Okay, if you wait till everything is lined up, you know, you're gonna wait till, you know, you can wait till the cows come home at that point, and you're gonna be, first of all, you're gonna miss the trade opportunity, and number two, you're always gonna have something against you. John brought up a very good point. Always remember that. So if you had something moving against you, it doesn't matter. Some things you just have to expect that, look, if you're riding the train, right, do you have to worry about, like, I don't know, a pebble jumping on the track? No. How about a basketball? No. Somebody toss it back. You know, if you're riding the train, like, there's not a whole lot gonna stop you, right? Now, if a 18-wheeler comes across, okay, and the thing's down, okay, yeah, we're gonna have problems, right? Next one said green headshot was before large timing. Also, good point. Caused me to hesitate on that entry. Oh, you're talking about causing you to hesitate. So you were talking about going long. I'm trying to understand what you might be saying there with that. It came after large. It was after the large, so you would think maybe we're getting long, we've got shorts favorable. Main thing is that you've got this right here, plus you had shorts favorable, already telling you what the favorable direction at that time was, plus MACV telling you that. If you look over here, you can also see majority red, and backside, this means this is big picture direction. But yes, first green headshot, even let's say that you stop out on that, right? So let's say that you got long, like just first, let's just hypothetically, let's say that you messed it up. This is what I always tell people too, is that you do not have to be perfect. To be profitable, okay? This is like, you don't, not just because you're not Walmart doesn't mean you can't sell something. Okay? NASDAQ, there are plenty of niches out there. So let's say that you weren't perfect on this and you got in on this green dot, thinking green dot headshot, okay, it's after king, I see this over here, and maybe you messed up, you're like, I'm gonna take this long. Okay, you got long, you saw a second cross show up, would you be like, oh shoot? Well, maybe you're thinking, oh, maybe I'll get a, you know, green reversal up. As soon as that red dot shows up, don't you close the position? Yep. Why? Because you already know you're shooting for target one or the first reversal, right? So if you got in right here, I mean, you're not going to get any ticks whatsoever. Are you going to lose on that? No. If you press reverse, are you going to lose on that? Maybe. You might slip a tick, okay? But as soon as you see that, right? Let's, again, like you could totally mess this up. You got long. Because you're also, oh, I just noticed there's a little PRZ in there too, okay? So you're like, oh, I got all these things going here. I'm going to get long. So what? All right, you get in, boom, red headshot comes in. Uh-oh, bam, there's my beast. Right. So no problem with that one. World wants you to put in a box and say NQ unless it's ALGOBOX. Okay. Could you add to your trade on the pivot on king timing? Very, very nice. Okay, so he said, where could I add to position? Can you add right there? Yes, somebody's been doing their homework. Who said that? Is that Franco? Franco. Give Franco a red star. He called out the blue bar ignored. He called the BBI right here. What's a BBI? BBI, can you enter on that, on the king? Bet your butt you can. So he said, could I add to my position right here? Yes, sir. Yes, you could. I was already maxed out on my position here, so I wasn't adding to this position. But yes, absolutely. Great thought. Next one. So ALGOBOX gives trade signals. It is not fully automated, right? Green eggs and ham, you're so lost, bro. You still, look, let me tell you why green eggs and ham is lost, okay? He sits on a forum called futures.io. Anybody know what a forum is? Okay. Nobody even uses forums anymore. This is like 1980s calling, right? Here's Michael J. Fox. Ding! Hello? Hello? Yeah, I've got my DeLorean set for 1985. Yeah. I'm coming with my mullet. Yeah. And I got my flux capacitor in the back. Yeah. I'm on my way. Beep. Yeah, is futures.io still there? Oh yeah, futures.io was getting going right about then. Yeah, futures.io, Big Mike, big old 300 pounder. Oh yeah, 300 pounder flounder. Look, I'm not fat shaming. I'm just saying the guy calls himself Big Mike for a reason, but he's got a big ass mouth, right? And he doesn't like me because I've got a big mouth, right? So I get it. He doesn't like me. I actually liked him. That's what's funny about the whole thing. But the way that he has treated me, their whole site is completely unfair. They're not trustworthy. I would never trust them. Their members slash moderators are completely biased towards an absolute trash product called Jigsaw because they get 30% per, and they know that our system is so much above and beyond that they will not allow you to say a positive thing about our system. In fact, I'll go test it out. Green eggs and ham. Go try to find something positive to speak out there on futures.io and watch what they do. They will either A, say that, oh, you must be me, or oh, I must have paid you to go say something, or whatever. All their 50,000 things that they always say, they delete positive reviews from members that have gone over there and talked about anything positive. So Mr. Green Eggs and Ham, the reason that you don't think that our system is full auto is because you're a fucking moron. Pardon my French, but it's the truth. And the truth will set you free. I just speak the truth, and everybody complains about how it's spoken. I am sick of you people talking about how it was spoken, all right? We're all done with how it was spoken. We are telling it in a forceful and strong way so that you remember it when I'm done. You understand? Now, Mr. Green Eggs and Ham, is my system full auto? Hell yeah, it is. Go watch some videos. Stop being a lazy turd and saying stuff like, oh, futures.io, I've been a member there for 9 years. Guess what? There was a guy who was on there that had been a member for 13 years who wrote a positive review about me, who had over 600 posts. And when he wrote a positive review about our stuff after he saw it, and he's in our program now, guess what they did? They deleted his entire post. We've got the proof of that. We're bringing it tomorrow in the Wrecking Ball Wednesday. So Mr. Green Eggs and Ham and the futures.io protector, you might want to go tell your boys, Daddy's coming, right? That's me. Guess you didn't. All right. Next. It's both, by the way. So fully automated as well as cyborg. This is called cyborg trading, if you hadn't been paying attention. The mix of human and machine, which is actually better than full auto. But I'm sure you're broke and sitting in your mom's basement and your name's Green Eggs and Ham. You know, I love Dr. Seuss, right? Because I talk about it all the time. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. When our system shifts from red to blue, we talk about the Dr. Seuss entry, right? But you are a disgrace to your name, Mr. Green Eggs and Ham, says Sam I Am and Vinny Emini. Next! Yeah, Franco told you. He said, check out the Discord. Yeah. Get real, bro. Get off your forums and get into a real world. All right, favorable direction is more prominent in the afternoon session. That is 100% true. Mr. Pinoy gets another red star. This favorable direction, much stronger, and you must really start to obey this in the afternoon session. Less so in the morning session. He's been paying attention. See, these are the advanced things. This favorable direction is, again, more important in the afternoon than it is in the morning session. Thank you for bringing that point up, sir. Let's see, can you forget about the ATM and just use mental stop till I get the max of profits? Been organic? No. Trading without a stop? No. I'll show you some guys who trade with no stops. Can somebody post a link to Trades by Matt? Mr. Blowout Boy himself literally has t-shirts for you if you want. I would buy the t-shirt for yourself to go support Matt because he's going to be broke and he just had a baby, so I feel bad for him on that. But he's broke. He's literally blown out 6 accounts this year. We've been keeping track since he's, you know, that's just from 2021. I ain't even counting before that, okay? But he claims that he's a professional trader. This is what he does for a living, okay? How do you make money when you've blown out every account? It's what month is it? It's October. I mean, yes, in the final quarter, I mean, I make more usually in the final quarter than I make all year. So, I mean, he could come through, right? But blowing 6 accounts in a year? Trader funding accounts? Give me a break, bro. You're not making any money. So go help him out. Go buy one of his t-shirts. You know what it says on the back of his t-shirts right now? On his shirts. I'm not talking about the ones that we're making. Okay, the ones that we're making. Here's the shirts here's the shirts that we're making. Okay, Curtis made this shirt for him. Blowout boys. All right. These are the Matts and the Matts, Trade by Matts, who called me old man. All right. Well, old man's about to come whoop your ass, boy. Still didn't apologize for calling me old man. So, you know, here's Blowout Boys, Trades by Matt, TBM. Go check them out. He's live streams daily at 8 a.m. There's your face in the camera all day. Pretty boy. Let me get my hooded. Dude, the boy's wearing a hooded sweatshirt in Texas, 95 degrees outside in the summer. Again, the boy's got mental issues, all right? And he can't trade. Blowout boys. But the back of his shirts literally say no stops, okay? Not joking. Have you seen his shirts? Has anybody seen his no stop shirt? No stops. And it like repeats. It's like all the way down the back of the shirt. It's just no stops, no stops, no stops, no stops. Like, I don't understand why you would wear that. I don't even know. Why would you even think that's a good shirt to have? I don't get it. Yeah, they seriously do. No, I'm not joking, Scott. Yeah, go to his website, go buy one for him, right? Go put in a little tip for him. Say, you know, Vinny says hi. All right, give him a tip, something for his baby, right? He needs to have a little baby shower. Look, we're about to have a baby too. Okay, I'm gonna have a baby in November, right? So this is our 4th. All right, so he's a new daddy, so maybe he's got to figure things out still. All right, he's, you know, it's his first kid. Right, I'm 4 in now, so I'm an expert. Remember, I'm the old man apparently. Jackass. But yes, he trades with no stop. So, yeah, and Ben, I mean, be my guest. As long as you're not trading with my system and my tools, yeah, bro, trade with no ATM, no stops, and join the other side of the team. We trade against them and we make a lot of money. So, yeah, please do it. Use futures.io for joke memes. Yeah, that is a good way to use futures.io. Or if anybody in there actually is making a trade call, which you can't because it's 1980s forum style. By the time you made a post, the trade would already be done. Right. So yeah, I wouldn't even try to trade against them. At least go to a Discord room to trade against. We've got some good rooms for that, by the way. If you guys want to know some good rooms to trade against, we've got a list of those. Start with Speculator Seth. That guy's also a live streamer, been trading all the time. At least he admits that he's not profitable, that he's never been profitable. So kudos to him for that. But the fact that, you know, he won't even let you mention the name ALGOBOX in his room. In fact, you can go try it. Go to Speculator Seth's room and type in Vinny Emini, or just Vinny. Type Vinny. Watch what happens. Your stuff will be removed and you'll be banned. Or type in ALGOBOX. Be like, hey, is anybody in here? Have you guys ever tried ALGOBOX? You guys even say something bad. Say, be like, dude, ALGOBOX sucks. Watch what happens. You instantaneously, your text will disappear. You're gonna notice, and then Seth will come and he'll talk to you on the side. Hey, we don't talk about that in here, and he'll ban you. That's how scared they are of me, and they should be, honestly. He's selling some trash. Jigsaw sells some trash. They get to all talk on futures.io, but guess who doesn't get to? This guy. Why? Because we can do what they can't do, and they're mad about it. Sick. I'm sick of it. Yeah, futures.io. Yeah, futures.io is dead now. Yeah. Yeah, so you guys have been banned. Yeah, so all my guys, yeah, they're all saying, yeah, we've been banned. Yeah, again, you mention my name, mention ALGOBOX, and you instantly banned. Does that sound like fair and open conversation, right? They don't even want to talk crap about it. You know why they don't want to talk crap about it? Take a guess. Take a guess why they won't even let you go in there and talk bad about it. Because, look, they know that people aren't that stupid. If you see our system next to what they've got, it's an instant no-brainer decision. Why would you ever use their garbage when you have this? All right. I didn't see any other people that I'm opening up the mic. Anybody that wanted to be brave enough to come on the mic and have a chat? Anybody?
Hey, Ben.
What's going on? Who do we got? Big Mini Fridge. What's up, my friend? How you doing, brother?
Good, man. What's going on?
Everybody can hear, type me a 1 if everybody can hear him all right. I can hear him just fine. Just want to make sure that the audio is coming through on that because this is the first time we've done this. I am passing through Discord through our live stream. You are live, my friend. So, you know, you're going to have to pretend like your mom's in the room and say all good words. You know, don't make me wash your mouth out with soap. Welcome to the crew, my friend. How you doing?
I'll get some feedback in my head, but I wanted to ask a bit about the kind of stuff Whiskers has been alluding to with like.
Hey, Curtis, can you mute the ALGOBOX Flowmaster system? He's getting feedback loop that way. Hold on a second. I think I can do it here. All right, try now. Can you talk now?
Yeah, let me see.
All right, is the echo gone? Yeah, echo's gone.
For me.
No, it's good now. Okay, I think that sounds better. Sorry about that. Go ahead, say it again.
Is it good?
Yes.
Okay, I'm getting it for me, but if it's not coming through there, it's fine.
Yep, it sounds good now.
Okay, I was gonna ask about some of the stuff that Whiskers was doing, maximizing plays like the 940 rotation and things like that.
Ah, the 940. Okay, so you know what? This is a good question. So pipe to the room, because I couldn't even tell you where this is in one of our videos. I believe it's either videos 2 or 3. Less than 2 or 3. I could be wrong about that. It might have been an advanced level video, or he might have gotten that from my live streams. Here is the key. So what he's asking about, it's a good question. This is an advanced level, and so a good topic for this. He's asking about specifically Whiskers, if you guys want to know who he is. He's literally, I think he is our oldest trader in the room, a veteran, if you will. The guy has been around. That guy had failed everywhere else, and then he came here, and he is crushing it. If you guys haven't seen Whiskers' numbers, let me just briefly hit on Whiskers here real quick, after we talk about the 940 to 950, okay, because that's what you're specifically asking about. So 940, 950, we'll talk about this. And this is one of Whiskers' favorite times to play, you know, but he came here, he said, listen, Vinny, like, he came here, I believe, don't quote me on this, I think he had told everybody even in the room that, you know, he basically was down to his last $176. I don't know why that number sticks out in my head, but literally he's like, you know, he had a sad story. He talked to me about it. He's like, dude, is there anything you can do with me? The short answer was we went ahead and put him through the Lilo stuff. I've showed before that when Lilo didn't have their 1.5K limit, that you could basically go over there and easily get $8,000 from them because they had an $8,000 cap on the first part of what they did. We basically put him in ALGOBOX. He went over there, smashed that, took the 8,000, applied it to his own account, and now he's making, I don't even know, like he had a $10,000 day the other day. I think yesterday he had a $7,000 day. The guy is absolutely crushing it, and he just basically took our system and is just using the tools and the rules and doing just absolutely smashing. So, you know, awesome stuff to him.
He was saying he did a 60 grand week.
Yeah. So what was that, last week?
This week, yeah. Or yeah, last week.
Last week, right? Yeah. We're in a whole new week now. But yes. So what he's talking about, because he says he loves this trade, right? You're talking about how he loves the 940 to 950 turn, right? So let's talk about it. So
the turn, and specifically, he's getting crazy ratios, and I think one of the things with ALGOBOX, the risk is over trading and taking too many signals, and then trying to tone that back to get to that level where you're taking the highest probability.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's a good question. So, and just for everybody to know, so Big Mini Fridge, a little bit new with us. He's been hanging around, you know, but he's kind of gone all in now. He's like, look, I want to check this out. He's done a lot of, like, you've traded a whole lot of other systems, right?
I've traded a whole lot of other theories, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of other places, you'd been in a lot of other Discord rooms, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, you got to kind of unwind your current knowledge base, but it's easy to think when you see our system like, oh, I need to take all those signals. So remember, we're trading strategy entries with the 3 things I showed originally that you have to kind of get through the videos on, which I don't think you've gotten there yet. But it's good. These are good questions because we'll answer for everybody. I'm sure everybody else has the same questions as well. So first thing, how do we control over trading? I know we've got a delay on the feed, but I'm holding up my 5 trade sheet. Number 1, this prevents you from over trading because you have 5, and it's not a hard set 5 because you can also have 5 or 6, right? So in your head, standard operating procedure is if you just stare at the sheet in the morning, remember that we're trading like a business. We're not coming in here to play, you know, pussyfoot games of, all right, I'm coming to the markets and I'm chasing a dream. We don't chase dreams. We make a plan and the dreams come true. So our plan of attack every day is I'm setting a timer for 60 minutes or 5 trades plus 1 bonus, whichever comes first. So that's how you control, number 1, over trading scenarios. But let me open the gate. Does that answer that question, or do you still have, but how would you override that? Or
yeah, so I guess, God, this feedback is terrible. My thing is, if you're counting the 5 trades,
yes,
and like you said, you can do the cadence where you can start on sim, take your 3 and build from your understanding of cadence from there. Sometimes you can push trades a little farther, and sometimes if you take the 5 too early, you can miss out on some of the bigger opportunities. You can still be trying to take too many of those like headshots against the grain when you're hearing audio box come in too hard or something like that.
Okay.
Those little mistakes where you're trying to take an entry that's not quite enough structure.
Okay. Yeah, so let's answer that. So he's talking about, let's say that the markets are moving up, but you see a red head shot. So he's saying, how do I stop myself from, is it stopping yourself from taking that one? Because I'll tell you right now, like, you don't actually have to stop yourself from trading it. In fact, you can go ahead and take the trade, right? But if the markets are moving up, and you got longs favorable, I'm drawing LF here on the screens. So longs favorable, and you're taking that headshot, taking it short, but the price ends up kind of comes down a few ticks, but then ends up whoop, whoop, and stopping out. I can take that stop, no big deal, and we move on to the next one. Okay, so this is how you have to kind of, and again, like everybody remember, like you know, he's a little bit new to our system, but yes, we stop out right here and we don't even sweat it. We don't even look at it, don't think about it. We traverse to the next trade. So let's say that was my trade one. Okay, but oh, got stopped out on that one. Small loss. It's okay because it's my first trade of the day. That should be toe in the water or quarter position. You're either like 2 or 4 contracts max on the first 2 trades. No big deal. Loss on that one. On my next trade, if I went in 2 contracts, what am I looking to do on my next trade? 3 or 4, right? So let's go to another one. So I'm going to draw. So I got, I don't know, you're saying that we have another, for some reason, market's moving up, still pot in, and we hit another. Red headshot, tries to go down. Oh, comes up, stops out again. Okay, now you're at trade 2. Ouch. Okay, got stopped out twice. No big deal. Now we're deeper in the hole. Okay, so we are red on our P&L. Red is, P&L's red. We don't focus on this. Like, try not to get focused on this. That's, I mean, it's easier said than done. But when you play this like a video game, you'll see, because what's my next trade contract count now that I'm getting into trades 3, 4, 5? Trades 3, 4, 5 is where I get serious, right? Everybody knows if you have been through my program. Now, these are your main trades. Trades 3, 4, 5 are what we call our mains, right? 3, 4, 5. Now, however we do on 3, 4, 5 determines whether or not we will or will not take a bonus trade at the end, right? So to me, I feel like that kind of answers it. Like even if I took a third, so what? Because here's what happens. As we increase our contract count through our 5 trade progression, any single trade, well, let me ask this. Does everybody understand that with our system that any one single trade gets you back to plus P&L for one trade? Even though let's say that you're 3 trades down, do you realize that one trade in our system gets you back to not only break even, but plus 1 in a series, right? Do you realize that you go green P&L with our system, or are you still trying to, you know, think that we're trading 2 contracts across the board type of thing? Just want to see.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, you know, how do you kind of caught that concept with how we write?
Talked about that. I think there's times where if you get in there in the morning and you're jittery and it's really flying, and you try to take or change direction too many times because you thought you're trading off the last trade, I guess is what I'm saying. It's a pretty common, like, I think it's a mental thing.
Okay, so you're saying, so right at the open, when the market kind of does we're going to go up, and then maybe we go back down, and so you're like, oh, okay, we're going down. Oh, let me try that. Oh, now we're going back up. That type of thing?
Yeah, or even getting chopped in the afternoon, or any accumulation zone that might be even bigger, and you just get so much movement up and down, you wind up overthinking and trying to change directions too many times as opposed to maybe waiting or pacing the trades out farther.
I gotcha. Well, here's what I would do. Number one, like, find me a scenario where that happened. Like, give me a day and like the actual date, and I'm just gonna go download the market replay data and let's run through the scenario so I can kind of give you the live example. And let's make that like our Thursday or Friday video. Make that your assignment this week. Just find a day where that happened, send it to me, and let's play it. And why don't I just play it out in market replay, and I'll show you how I would approach that, and let's see, you know, if we either answer the question or that leaves more holes. Does that sound fair? But what I would say is it's probably going to be a scenario like this. Market open comes, like let's say that this is the timestamp for the open, and it's 9:30, which, what do I tell you guys, first 5 minutes, right? I'm really not going to take a trade till I win. 9:35, right? So I've already blown 5 minutes where I really shouldn't do anything, but oftentimes, sure, the market can be for the first 5 minutes doing this thing. So my concern is that if he's saying that he got caught in some of this, I don't know how that works unless he's trying to take a continuation trade, maybe. So like, let's say that it's green. These were the problems would come. So if you get a green dot somewhere in here, and then, oh, so he's getting long, but then, oh, we get back the other direction. Oh, we get wrong. Well, first of all, in that first 5 minutes, I already tell you, like, I mean, this is kind of shake and bake, and everybody kind of knows that, right? So I'm going to sit on my hands normally. So answer number one is we want to try to avoid that. Because yes, the scenario that you're saying is like basically the perfect, you know, bad scenario. But if you do that and you're 5 trades in and you wreck yourself on 5 trades, that's fine. Then you're done with that session, and you come back in the afternoon if you wanted to have another session that day. But you should go back and look at that and go, well, what happened there? And go, well, did I break any of, first thing you should ask is, did I break any of the like normal rules? And number one is, if you're taking trades in between 9:30 and 9:35, that's your first break. What Whiskers does is exactly, I mean, Whiskers is just, he just laid it out to go, I'm just gonna do whatever you tell me to do, Vinny. Like, I'm throwing away everything. And this is the best way that you could ever approach our stuff. It's come in what I call a purist. A purist will come in unabated by all old baggage, anything that you've had in the past, or somebody who's just, you know, fresh-faced, never traded before. They have really good, you know, scenarios here because they don't know any better. They don't know any other stuff. A lot of people are like, well, I always trade at the open. I love the action. I can get in. Okay, well, I'm breaking you of that habit by just going, look, just don't trade between 9:30 and 9:35. Like, have a few sips of coffee, okay? Get back, and then watch what happens at 9:40. So coming back to his question around 9:40, this is one of Whisker's favorite things. Between 9:40 to 9:50 is typically a big pivot in here, right? And this is what I've told people is like, divide up your day, slice it up, use the sessions division. If you guys have seen this, I'm gonna pull up into our Discord chat here. And if you type !sessions in our room, you'll see a visual diagram breakdown of the morning, okay? Now, this is a normal US session day. I don't have in here the 9:40 thing, so that's why you're kind of asking that, because again, that's why I said it's sort of one of those, you might have caught this in an advanced video. If anybody can find that video and post it into our public area, and then maybe we'll label that, and for other people who want to go and find that video where I'm walking through that specifically, but I'm going to kind of go over it right here. So 9:40 to 9:50, in that 10-minute window, I'm looking for a big reversal. What I actually want to call it a trap. Okay, I'm looking for a big trap between 9:40 and 9:50 where it looks like it's going down. It's like, oh, dude, it's going down. Okay, and now you're going to take the next long. But actually, wait and watch for a delta shift, a turn, and one of our infamous, you know, there's several of our traps, whether it's the Richie trap or we're coming off of a four-legged dog. Oh man, four-legged dogs between 9:40 and 9:50. Great trap setups right there. But between 9:40 and 9:50, if you just like patiently waited, like I probably solve your problem right now, is just wait till 9:35, look for the 9:40 to 9:50 big trap move, and then take your trade after that. Probably solves your first problem. And then you also have a very small window of time where you could take any other trades, because what time do I have to stop trading? What time do I absolutely have to take a break?
That's 10:10.
10:10, he knows it. Awesome. So pop quiz, he passed. Everybody give him a hand. All right, 10:10, we have to take it. So from 9:40 to the 10:10, you don't have a whole lot of time there, right? You got 30 minutes. It's going to be hard to take a whole lot of trades right there. I mean, you got to be you got to be on crack or trading the Nasdaq, you know, or both, okay, to be able to get that many trades between that time. And really, it should only be allowing you to get 2 or 3 trades in there tops. Then you should be taking that little 20-minute breather, and then you got 2 more trades to apply in between right there until 11 o'clock. And you, most of the time, most of our guys are going to be done by that time. Now, this is if you're starting at 9:30, right? There's a window of time before that that's actually better to trade, right? This is why if you guys look at this little diagram here, you know, between 7 and the 9:30 open is actually some of the best times to trade in the morning if you have to be an early bird person. I'm not really an early bird person to begin with, but if you're going to look for trade setups, really good ones are still going to be there. And this is if the market's moving. Now, any given day can be different, right? The people who really start to have a struggle time are the people who think that every day the market is the same. Any single set of days, the market could literally be completely different. You could have a super fast morning before the market open. You could be after. What we have to do is set up what I've talked about earlier, the SOPs, standard operating procedures, and then know when we're out of bounds. And when we're out of bounds, just apply the rules and keep to them. So I feel like I don't feel like I beat around that bush, but I know I talked about a lot there. Did I answer specifically kind of the questions around how to, like the over trading scenario that we're talking about there? And if you're getting, you know, trapped off of the morning session, some people are just not good with the morning. Like if you can't stop yourself from not trading that zone, like I would just maybe give yourself a start point to say, I'm only going to start trading at 9:40, where we know that the first set of trades should be between 9:40 and 9:50. Look for the trap, play them trade moves after the trap. And remember, a single trade, we can be one and done. We make $500 on a single trade all the time. Right? And that's your minimum target is a 500. But when you're just trying to get profitable first, right? Step 1, get profitable, get to that $500 target set. But you're in a stage right now where you need to practice, practice, practice. So please, yes, do take a lot of trades right now. Practice, practice. In the final 40 days is where we'll really hone that in and start working on filtering and really narrow into the 5 trades, really work on increasing your size. But right now, get the mechanics down. Do you have any specific questions around like mechanics and things on any of the strategies?
Yeah, so one thing I was going to mention too was someone has mentioned in the group, or it's been mentioned over and over, paying attention to crosses, just across the board. I think to answer my own overtrading question, and with something I see with my market replay, is trying to take too many trades between appearance of crosses.
Okay, so let me solve that one really easy. What they're referring to. Yeah, let me help you out with that one. What they're referring to, I don't want to use NASDAQ as the example because this one is pretty overcrowded. Let's bring down YM here. I know there's a delay on the stream, but this should show up on your screen here in just a moment and showing the YM. We have a feature on the crosses or the bubbles. Crosses and bubbles, people ask us all the time, what's the difference? They're the same. They're literally the same. One is it's just a different style to look at. I like the bubbles in the higher time frames. They are the same. So if we go into my indicator set here, our system automatically handles that for you now. Again, there are some people who have maybe an older version or haven't been around. If you go into the newest Flowmaster Delta Flagging Pro, the Pro version has a check mark here that says draw horizontal. So what they're referring to is pay attention to where those crosses show up on the higher time frame. I'm not really as concerned on the lower time frame unless what? Unless it is a double cross. Bingo, you got it, right? Lower time frame, I want to pay attention. I also want to draw a horizontal. Now, the point of drawing the horizontal, those are in our case, I have these right now by default out of the box. You guys can change these to whatever you want, although I would recommend, I have a lot of reasons for why they are the colors that they are. These are going to kind of be faded. They almost look like they're gray, but they are actually semi-transparent white to represent that the white ones are coming from crosses because we also have a red and a green that comes from deltas. If you have the Delta system. Now, some people don't have the Delta because they don't have the full version of NinjaTrader Lifetime, but the Deltas also have this draw horizontal. And let me show that. Those are going to draw in red and green by default on their own, which is going to be Master Bubbles. I'm sorry, I just said the wrong thing earlier. I was on Delta Flagging Pro. I'm sorry, I meant Delta. Here we go. Flowmaster Bubble. The Flowmaster Bubbles have the draw horizontal. Sorry, I was like, why is that? Why am I confused here? Sorry, there's still the draw horizontals. It's the same parameter, but this is on the bubbles or the crosses. It looks like this. The other one I was showing you was the actual Delta Flagging. I'm like staring right at it.
Pattern. NASDAQ on the Tuesday.
Okay, right there, draw horizontals. This one is going to draw red and green by default. The other one is going to draw those whites. So let me show you why that matters once you have the setting set. So over here on the right, if you have the horizontal draw numbers labeled, that's what these yellow numbers are for. You don't have to have these labels. I have them turned on. If you want to know how to turn those on, I mean, by default, they're already there for you. But if you want them on or off, those can be turned off. The gray lines here, these come from high time frames. And these are Flowmaster bubbles showing up right here. These are going to be important. And these are drawing global. Now, what does that mean? That means that if they come in on a high time frame, they are going to show on lower time frames. So, for instance, on this chart, you see these two gray lines right here and right here. Because they are gray, aka kind of semi-faded, that means that these came from a higher time frame and are being projected onto this chart right here. So if I see something set up right here, that's why they're telling you to watch those, because we used to have to do those by hand, probably less so now. And we are using these like traditional support and resistance, where I want to look for a thing. It doesn't matter what that thing is. It could be a headshot, it could be a 2-finger, it could be a PRZ cross, it could be a double dot. But if something lands on one of those lines, do you understand at least the simple concept that now we've added additional confluence to whatever it is that shows up right there? Oh, did I lose him?
Oh, it's all right. I know you're asking me.
Yeah. So
yeah, I've added the horizontals. I feel like it does get a little messy sometimes. Just to have it visually on there too, and then as opposed to just paying attention to them manually, like you said, the more, like with Recency,
Yeah, so I can already tell from you, you're already resisting the system, right? You're already forming complaints in your mind, but here's why you're also forming complaints. You just now got your, what size TV did you get today?
The 43.
You got the 43, okay. So you got the smallest of the ones that I suggest. Like, I don't know what your age is or anything, but like, you know, age before beauty. The older you get, the bigger you need to get that screen. And I actually think that the 55 is the ideal because that means that everything on your screens are divided up into 27-inch monitors. What you're working at, if you divide that out, I think is like a 22-inch screen. So if anybody's ever seen an old school 22-inch screen, like you're stuck into little mini sections of 22. So if it looks and feels too cramped to you, it is probably because you're using too small of a screen for your eyeballs. That's just a suggestion.
When I have mine draw horizontals, it almost draws too many.
Harmonic pattern.
Well, you're probably talking about the NASDAQ then. And I think you had talked to me before. You're on a NASDAQ player, right?
NASDAQ and Russell. I think it almost like it goes too far back. So it's drawing so many that I just get a chart.
Oh, well, that's also because you have the wrong data set then as well. So remember, 500 bars, if you're going back farther than 500 bars, are you at 500 bars?
Yeah, my wave and tide are, this one's 500, yeah.
Okay.
100 on the tide.
Yeah, I mean, we could take a look at it. You also want to make sure that you're on the latest version. We did have a bug on one of those where it was drawing too many. Yeah, so we may need to get you the latest version. Could also be it.
It literally looked like a sweater.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a whole different problem. Okay. Yeah.
No, it wasn't even like. Could not even.
But see, here's the thing about another thing. So, folks, let me just use another example here. Like that kind of stuff, folks. I tell you, in literally less than 6, you've got to get good with screenshots. I don't know why people still come in my room and they are adamant about fucking, pardon my French, but describing your bullshit to me. And yes, it pisses me off when people are like, Vinny, I got this error, and I don't know, it's like stuff on my screen. And like, dude, nobody knows what you're talking about, right? So you're like, well, they're kind of close together. No, send a screenshot. If we see it, you know what I'm saying? Like, post that screenshot, and I'll be like, oh, shoot, dude, you got the wrong version. You got this. Yeah, I haven't seen a screenshot from you, basically is what I'm saying. So post a screenshot, and we can fix those kind of problems. So, I mean, there can be technical problems for sure. But in general, so let's move on to the next question because I think that probably answers your question. You're saying that the horizontals, they're not helpful because it's a mess. Well, we need to fix that, right? You need to make sure that they're actually coming off of just the crosses, and we did have a bug in one of those versions. You need to make sure you get the latest.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure.
And everybody, screenshot. If you got a problem, send me a screenshot. I had 3 more people today, like, email me, Vinny, I don't know why, but my thing's not working. Well, I don't know why it's working. I don't know where it's not working either, bro. I'm like, send me a screenshot. And they're like, and of course, as soon as I say send the screenshot, like, oh, it's fixed. It's working now. Yeah, for some reason, all of a sudden, I'm like, well, I don't want to show them that I've got something. I figured out that whole thing. Because, yeah, if you told us that screenshot, we're like, well, why don't you, like, click the next button? So, all right, you'd be amazed at how many things get solved when you just ask somebody to take a screenshot. What's up, Whiskers? He just came back from dinner. Were your ears burning while you were at dinner? Because we were discussing your amazing 940 to 950. So the quick answer on that. So 940 to 950, that is a nice spot there for looking for a trap. And we don't care what the setup is between that time. If you see the trap and the move, this is a great time to take a good setup. Maybe one of your first trades of the day. If you want to strategize for yourself, create your own standard operating procedure where you only, again, I'm not forcing you to only take during that. You can, the open window, as long as it's not between, look, 9:30, 9:35, okay, there's that little 5-minute window there. Just be careful. There can be beautiful setups here. I'm not saying don't take them, but I'm going very, very cautious between 9:30, 9:35, little 5-minute window there, okay? But then 9:40 to 9:50, man, this is where you really want to be, I mean, finger over the triggers, ready to go, right? Pick your spot. A lot of big fake outs happen right there. The continuation traders get wrecked right here pretty good. And if you get on the other side of them, it's great if you can get another trade room making a call, being like, all right, yep, we're getting in short. Okay, it looks like the market, this is what they say. Okay, guys, looks like the market has decided on its direction. Looks like we're going short. Okay, well, I'm gonna look for the next pullback. All right, here's my pullback. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get in short right here. Bro, as soon as I say that, just look for a green setup entry. You got me, and triple down on the entry. And yeah, that's the retail run strategy right there. I think did we cover all your questions?
Yeah, my questions pretty much.
Any others?
There's a way, I believe, to kind of generalize structure when you get into your session, like say in the morning or coming in the afternoon, and by looking at like the wave and tide and looking at the ropes and things like that. So, like
Okay.
you said before, like playing outside the ropes, playing inside the ropes, knowing if you've got trending, knowing if you've got a fading day.
Yeah, that's a good question. So let's talk about that structure. So first thing in structure, I'll always start on a screen that looks like this. So I'm shifting over to my top screen. Now I will say that, look, I have shown that now it is not absolutely necessary to have the higher time frames. If you are limited on your space and you can only fit a single screen, of course, please, for the love of God, go to Walmart. It's $250, folks. You can get these gigantic screens now. And you have two setups here. Here is main. I'm going to click on show all. Okay, I've got 4 screens doing this right here. Okay, if you're on a 4K monitor right now, this should be clear as a bell. This is probably a good test for you. Why don't everybody do a test for yourself right now? Get on your main trading screen. You know, if you're not on it right now, go to it later. And right now, this screen setup that you're looking at right now, these are my 4 screens. These are right now set to 1080p, but these 1080p's on a 4K, single 4K, which stands for 4 times 1080p, should be able to visually and clearly, you should be able to see everything on these screens without having to squint or get closer to your screen. If you're having to squint or get closer to your screen is too small. Go buy another one at Walmart. I mean, I went and got my son a 50-inch for his room so him and his brother can watch shows in there when mama's doing some homeschool stuff with them and I'm having to do either grading papers for them or whatever they're doing over there. That 50-inch, I could not believe. It was like $279. After tax, it was barely over $300. I couldn't believe. I'm like, I don't know how they're doing this. I mean, it's like water's more expensive these days. It's insane. So there's literally no excuse for not getting a big screen setup so that you can see this stuff very, very clearly. This is your primary entry setup, which is very simple. Filter on the left. Chart 1. Chart 2, chart 3. That's one instrument for NQ. Same thing, you look up top, you got one for YM, top right, ES, bottom right, RTY. All 4 E-minis. If you can use this, you're set. This is all you really need. Now, I am going to a separate screen. I do recommend having, if you got it in the setup. I think that Curtis kind of had the ideal, and some other people have this, center screen, gigantic, 4K in the middle, with left side flank, right side flank verticals. Right? What does that look like? Looks like this. Center screen, flanked by a vertical, and these usually 27, right? And this, a 55, is the ideal. Another 27, and these are vertical, this set horizontal, also known as landscape, these set to portrait. Okay. And these kind of, I did them at the angle like that because these should be angled in at you, obviously. Right. That's this is the ideal setup, but your 55-inch screen should be divided into quarters like this. Okay. And then NQ, fastest right there, bottom left, on the right, RTY, YM right above it, and ES, farthest one away from you, up there, kind of top right, ES, right? And this should be super clear. If it's not, then again, your screen's too small. Simple as that. Now, so context, when he's talking about structure in the morning, so I've got my little side screen over here, and I've got all of my instruments on the high time frame, and I just want to see, is there anything that just really stands out to me, right? And if you're not good at this, it doesn't matter. I tell you, just stick to the other stuff. But if you're a person who's been around the markets for a long time, and you kind of pride yourself. I know how it is. You've been doing technical analysis your whole life, or I've been doing this for 10 years, Vinny. So whatever, fine, come over here, draw your lines, draw your whatever, you know how you do. Pick your instrument that you think looks like it's the most, active in a setup that you're like, oh, this is going to be cool. Like if I'm looking across the boards right now, RTY doesn't look too fun, because we're just all kinds of tied up here, right? So if I'm gonna take one off the list, RTY is probably not going to be too fun. It's already sitting in the golden ropes here on both time frames. I literally would take RTY off my table. Like I'm not even going to look at the trade setups for RTY. ES, this is looking juicy, right? Yes, we've come into this, but look how wide these are getting, right? Look at the wide setups here, right? This is probably not just going to all of a sudden go, all right, we've got some wide movement going on with this. I'm liking that. In Q, always in play. What's this little setup right here? What does that look like? Looks like we're getting a turtle coming in right here, right? So am I going to try to take that next move up to that one? Yeah. If I catch the big move on the high time frame, do I have to be right about this? No. But if it gets going, do I want to ride that? Heck yeah. Right? How about YM? YM also. My two tops right here out of all these, I'm going to choose NQ and YM. Look at how good YM is looking right now. Right? Look at this. Huge movements coming out of this right now. YM, probably the absolute best if I have to just generalize. Now, could I tell you how to analyze that and tell you why I know that YM is, it's hard for me to verbalize, right? Because I've just been doing the markets a long time. So I would say, you know, YM, probably my best in play. But if you've been, you know, looking at the markets a while, you guys can probably see this, right? And I think you've been in the markets a while. Like, and you see how I kind of look at this and go, yeah, this looks like this is going to have the most amount of movement right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right.
That's
So
something I've noticed during
Harmonic pattern. NASDAQ on the Tuesday.
when you get the flattening of the ropes, you're looking at a lot of noise
smaller moves.
and a lot of potential for the chop and the accumulation or bouncing around near a line or near support.
Yeah, and what's cool with those is you get a lot of reversals. I actually kind of like to play those.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, as long as you know what could potentially happen right there and get yourself set up for your anticipation, and you don't have to be right. That's why I always said you don't have to be perfect to be profitable, because you can take out, as long as you keep your stops small, which is what we, you know, that's what we kind of specialize in, small stops, big targets. We don't have to, you know, catch big moves off of these. We are trying to predict what? The next bar. All I care about is the next bar. That's it. One bar. Because if I can catch one bar on a 24, how many ticks is that?
Oh, 24.
And bingo, right? There's no, and this is how we keep it simple. It's whatever the range is, whatever that instrument is. We're not trying to make this mystical like these other turd bags, right? That are acting like, oh, you need me. The gurus, they like to, let me explain. You guys want to know why everything sounds complicated coming out of other people's mouth and it doesn't out of mine? Because the other gurus want you to be dependent upon them. I do not want you guys to be dependent on me at all. I want you to be dependent on ALGOBOX. You can install ALGOBOX. ALGOBOX does the work. It draws it for you. It draws all the context for you. It lays out the map. You need to learn how to read the map, which is, I mean, that's all I'm good for, okay? I programmed my brain into ALGOBOX. Now you no longer need me. You can trade 24/7, whether I am live streaming, whether I'm in the room or not. That's the beauty and the freedom that ALGOBOX gives you. These Furu Guru rooms want you to be dependent upon them. You don't need that here. That's the beauty. And I'm a beast. All right, so that's context. Yes, in the morning, you want to look at the big time frame. Just kind of pick which one. That's usually how I use it. I'm like, looks like, ooh, NQ's looking hot. And I'll literally just focus my eyes. I don't even look at it after that. Now I just focus my eyes on NQ. Or in this case, today, I'm going to focus on YM, right? So I'm going to come up here, top mid, bam. I'm like, dude, YM is in play. Give me something. So what am I first looking at? I want to click right here. So I got this zoomed in, zoomed properly because it's too zoomed in because I was showing you guys an example earlier. Get this zoomed properly. And now, just according to this right now, what direction should I be trading right now? Pop quiz. With my arrow, I'm drawing it over to my MACV, and the histogram is solid red. So should I be looking for longs or shorts there, brother?
Shorts.
Shorts! No brainer! No brains involved. So yes, all the trolls who say that I'm not a smart guy, they're right. No brainer! No brainer. Trying to make it simple. Simplexity. Taking the complex, making it simple, that is genius, not the other way around. When something is simple and you try to make it complicated, that is the sign of an idiot or a fool or a con artist like Inner Circle Trader. ICT! If you guys haven't seen the latest release on that, go check out Instagram. There's more coming on the ICT. They are needing to get ready. Got any other questions there for us? It's been fun.
No, that explains a lot of it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Feeling pretty good about it?
Yeah, I had some rough market replay earlier, but I think I was just burnt.
That's good. Well, you know what? Right now, here's what I would expect. You're brand new with us. Literally fresh setup the other day. You've been playing with our 2-week free trial on occasion here and there, but now you're getting serious, right? You become a member now. You are going to get wrecked. Ask anybody in our room. You should be getting wrecked right now. It's the whole point. In the middle 40 days, I want you to get wrecked. Okay, I want you to take those trades. Oh, get right. Oh, get right. I don't want you to filter right now. This is the time to. Everything is about mechanics. Take every headshot you see. Take every double dot you see, and because I want you to see, like, oh, look, here's one right here. I'm talking about. Here's a tricky one right here. I want you to experience the crapshoot that it feels like when you all of a sudden you get a double dot and you're like, yeah, I'm getting double dot green. Oh, what do I do with? Wait, there's a pink dot in the middle. What do I do with that pink dot in the middle? So start to think. Still take it. Take the double dot and see what it does. If your stop was down here, guess what? You held out this trade probably still to target 1.
Right, exactly. And then your filter is the directional bias.
Yeah, and you got longs favorable, so you're like, hey man, it actually worked out. How about that? Like, just keep it simple. Well, look, the MACV histogram was green at the time. I took a double dot green. I mean, I really didn't think about it. I just took it. Take it. Awesome. Okay. That pink dot showed up in there. Hopefully you kind of figure out that, well, that does make it a little bit nerve-wracking. Now, what I didn't see, if I saw a delta closer over here, I would be a little bit more nervous, but we didn't even see another delta come in there, so I'd still be holding out that position. Stuff like that. You want to get all that, you know, just a lot of practice, and then you'll learn to trust the system.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, that's where I'm getting to now. And
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, Whiskers just said it right there. Getting wrecked is the plan for the middle 40 days. That's the weirdest thing. Think about what he just said. It is actually the plan, which is the weirdest thing, which is why I can't even, like, if I said it out loud, you guys be like, dude, is he on crack? Yes. We do things different, all right? Mid 40 days is to get wrecked. Okay. I want you to get into losers. I want you to feel losers. I want you to take every single trade here, get wrecked in the middle 40 days. Middle 40 days is not the most fun, but it is where you learn the most. Okay. The final 40 days is when it gets really fun, right? Final 40 days, we start to now take all that wrecking. You understand how and what to be fearful of. You know when to get greedy, and we start to focus on how to maximize that greed and push the big ones. And then you'll be hitting numbers like Whiskers, right? Who literally came in here, couldn't use a computer. I'm not trying to say this offensively. I'm just giving him mad props on how many hurdles the man overcame, right? Came in here, was like, dude, Whiskers, tell us, was it $176? I might have missed it, or was it $1,700? I think it was $176. You're like, dude, I got $176 left. I mean, I'm wrecked, right? And we took him from there, and we said, let us get you set up. Let's get you hooked up. Curtis got him all set up. Curtis spent a lot of time getting everything that he needed. He got the right equipment. We got him equipment all set up for him, and now look at the man. Not even the same. Yeah. Not even the same trader. And he has been everywhere else. He has done. Everybody's like, well, what about Larry Williams? What do you think about Larry Williams stuff? I'll tell you what I think about Larry Williams stuff. My son's favorite sound. He cracks up every time I make that sound. But you know what? There's Larry Williams for you. Ask him. I've got people in here who go get wrecked by Larry Williams, and then they come here and succeed. Why is that? Well, I think a couple things like I don't know, results matter, and being undefeated in every contest we've been in so far. Might be it. Alrighty then. Yeah, there he is. So Whisker said it, $176. Yeah, he was at the end there. So with 20,000 2 years earlier, totally got wrecked. And I think it was Larry Williams, right? Am I quoting that right, Whiskers? Or was it? Isn't he the one that does alligator? He does some kind of alligator thing that, like, you got to wait around all day, and if it doesn't work out, you're toast. It encourages people to chase that trade, and then they just wipe out their accounts in like a single day. I think it's a terrible layout and setup personally, but whatever. He got lucky one year back in like 1980, was it 1987 or 1989? When he caught, like, you know, the big, I don't even remember what disaster thing happened back then. But I remember looked at the market. I'm like, well, no wonder he made so much that year. But like, dude, the market, it was like a total dump. It was like, what was the major event? It wasn't housing back then, but there was some major crisis thing or whatever, and they're like, oh, everybody's looking at them 10,000% or something. Just laugh, like 10,000%. In futures with discount brokers, come on, man. Again, it was a totally different time. I mean, they were trading on fax machines back then, so, you know, let's give them props. You can trade on a fax machine. Guess what? I can't. I'll give you props for that, Vinny. I'll give it up. I can't trade on a fax machine. I'm gonna put my hands up right now. Don't ever ask me to trade on a fax machine. All right, I can't do it. I can't trade with Braille either. Yeah, it was Larry Williams. All right, he says it's all Furu stuff. Yeah, he did $1 million challenge back whenever that was. Yeah, but yeah, now watch him. Right now, it's like he's like a one contract trader now, right? Why would you go? You can't take yourself seriously if you're one contract trading. I'm sorry, and I just speak the truth. I don't care who gets offended by it. What other fun stuff can we chat about? Anything else?
I threw that turtle in the group too, if you want to pull it up.
You got a turtle in there? Let me take a beat.
Yeah, it's back a couple posts.
All right, let's see here. Vinny tips and tricks in the public room.
Yeah, public. It's a couple close up.
All right, let's take a peek.
This was from September 20th morning.
All right, looks like we got 2 feet in the back. We got a nice hump. We got a straight neck. Yeah, that looks like a turtle to me, brother. Are you asking, was it a turtle?
Yeah, just to analyze the shape of the turtle and I guess the entry.
So the entry on this one, this screenshot, it's not there yet.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So I have a video about this. Like a lot of people think, oh, I see that hump here, and I'm taking it because I want to catch the neck. No, dude, do not. Ask one of our platinum members. Who was it? We had a long discussion with. Landlord. I don't see him online, but yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah, man, I'm going to be a turtle trader. I want to catch that neck every time." I was like, "Bro, I literally made a whole video devoted to him around this. No, we're not trading that. Like, you can't predict that a neck is going to come out. The question is, remember, we're playing a video game and we're writing code with this. The cyborg says, if I get two-legged trap with a hump with a straight neck, now we have a turtle, all right? If we have this." And this, that's an igloo. And I have no idea what's gonna happen after that. It could just dump out, I don't know. Right? We don't care about that. But if you get this, that's a turtle, right? So yeah, so after this turtle, what you would look for is a headshot, a double dot, anything after that right there. And I know you're on a delay right now, but you'll see this later. And I'm literally pointing at the neck. After the neck, you are gonna be looking for a setup. What would be beautiful is if this play on your screenshot came down into this PRZ and gave a green dot of any kind. Green dot, blue dot, anything. I am taking that as an HMD to the long side. Target 1's gonna be at the top of the break of that shell. And target 2, I'm gonna hold that sucker out until I get a reversal entry, a reversal of any sort, meaning an opposing red dot, an opposing pink, opposing anything. But then if it breaks, I'm adding it back. Yeah. That's the half on, half off add. And I wanna ride that final trade out as far as it'll go on a turtle. Because what happens is it's basically you've trapped a crap load of people there. It's like so nasty. You caught them over here. They get out right here. They totally think now we're going the other way. They get wrecked. They're praying and praying and praying, pulling their stops back, and they eventually have to start giving them up out here. And these are blowout account days for people who are on the other side of a turtle. And I feel bad for them, but I kind of don't. Like, they came out here to play. We just come to play to win. Get that W. Yeah, great question there. Man, thanks for participating with me. Last night we didn't have nobody, and then Big Mini Fridge comes in. Smash it. Appreciate you jumping on the mic with me. Any other questions?
Yeah. Appreciate you doing the videos.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, we'll wrap it up right here then, I think. We're right at 90 minutes. So that's they have proven that the maximum levels of concentration for any human is 60 to 90 minutes. So we have reached our max, folks. Go have a great evening with your fam. I'm gonna go grab some dinner. Thanks for hanging out with this crew. Thanks, special shout out to Big Mini Fridge for getting on the microphone and taking me up on my offer there. I'm not the easiest person to talk to all the time, but thanks for hanging out. For me, Pippy, Robbie, Lunchbot, Mod Squad, Curtis G, don't forget to hit that button right there on the way out. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Let's send out the big H-Town. See ya.